What's up, guys? Nothing special here, just a little soch. We have a couple dogs playing rough, and I actually, Frost, what's up, brother? Andrew, what's going on? Little socialization going. We have our Sussex Spaniel here that is in for some human aggression and dog aggression, possessive resource guarding behavior, and we've had him really doing a lot of basics, a lot of leash pressure, getting him to the point where he's not barking obsessively and getting us into a solid place where I can actually be in a position, what's up, Carlo, to address it without him redirecting on me or barking at me for telling him to do something differently than he originally planned, right? So I'll show you what we have going on here. We got this guy here, and we also have these two who tend to play pretty rough. They tend to roughhouse. They just took a little break to drink water. We also have Maxwell, and we have the two little ones. So I'm going to try and set this up. I will do a little bit of a Q&A in the end. So you guys will, the loyal people that stay till the end will be able to just ask some questions related to this and just some dog behavior stuff in general. Our new, what's up, brother? Our new Dog Behavior Question Tuesday show just got uploaded. Andrew just uploaded that a couple minutes ago, so you guys can see that there. For those of you that follow us on Instagram, you know that that's where you can ask your questions. I will post on our Facebook and Instagram page later on today to let you guys know that that is up. All I'm doing right now basically is just using this dressage whip to keep dogs away from him, walking him around, and then depending on the dog, which I'm going to call these guys out in a little bit, let him smell or let some other dogs smell him. He's got a really good demeanor about himself right now. He's hanging out, he's chilling. I might go ahead and call Phoebe here. Good girl. Sit. So she's a little nervous about this. Oh, that works. I'll take that. That's okay. What's up, girl? Just kind of see how things are going, just so we can get a little bit more movement. Soko, here, buddy. Soko. I just want this dog not necessarily to be playing with other dogs, but to be in a position where other dogs can smell and he can smell, or just basically be able to walk by without it being a big deal. Soko, come here. Good. And just have him be able to do a little bit of this, got the tail wagging. He tends to get really worked up, and there's and it's like craziness, and that's not helping him. He's also got some possessive resource guarding issues, which we're going to be dealing with, teaching him the out commands, and really solid recall. But it's really important that he learns to kind of be around dogs in this setting, in this state of mind, and just be chill about it. So that's pretty much all that we're doing, nothing too crazy. A little bit of smelling here, and he's tolerating that nice. I tend to always be on the opposite side of, like right here, I can call him out there because that was going to be face to face, right? And because he's solid on this, a calling out is super easy. So this type of socialization, this type of recall, the fact that I have this kind of leash pressure sensitivity, it puts me in a really good place and good position to be relevant even when this is happening. And that's the mistake that a lot of people are making. They're trying to rush into things like this, and they don't have a dog that listens to them on this. They don't have a dog that listens to them on remote, that listens to verbal cues, anything like that. Or they're not in a position to control the other dog when they're trying to socialize this dog, and that really starts to work against you, right? So being able to smell, what I'm saying is I like to always be in a little bit of an opposite position. I don't like to be here when the dog that's smelling is here, he's over here, because I really can't do much. I want to be in an area to give him an outlet, basically saying, yeah, you can do that. And if you're feeling a little stressed, look, you can choose to do this before reacting or getting silly the way, or inappropriate the way that you might have in the past, right? So that's pretty much all we're doing. I'm going to bring him over to Maxwell. Max, come here, buddy. Just kind of see how he takes it. I'm not forcing, but I might drive him through some dogs. A little bit of a touch there. There's some people walking through. Phoebe, here. Good girl. A little bit of this. I like to position myself so my body's never staying stagnant. That's very, very important. I'm never, if I see another dog is coming, I'm positioning myself in a way not to necessarily pull him back this way, but to be able to guide him off this way or be able to guide him off this way. I'm always looking to control his head. Because I have this type of sensitivity, I can pretty much always guide him out of that. If I want to turn him this way, we're going to come this way. If I want to go ahead and turn him over this way, it's the same thing. So what ends up happening is he just learns to kind of chill out around other dogs. So go. Come here. Maxwell. Come here. Good, and I can walk him through and see if dogs are interested in him. Right now, there's really no interest in him, and he has no interest for the other dogs. I don't get like hurt over that. I'm like, okay, that's awesome. They really don't care about one another. And that's really what you want. You want dogs that kind of can be in the same setting and coexist. The dogs that become best friends, thank you. The dogs that become best friends are the dogs that don't really care about one another initially. They can coexist, they can smell politely. They're not obsessed to the point where it's super wild initially. And then stuff builds, and then they become friends. Friends to me are dogs that can just coexist and be social. Doesn't necessarily mean they're playing. Some of these guys might roughhouse and play, some of them might not. But I'm in a position where I can always, because looking at the two people in the office, I can always come over this way and pressure can come off, and it's really easy. And then at the very end, I'm going to go ahead and place him in this corner and do a little Q&A with you guys. Come on, bud. Good. As we begin to, as we begin to do a little bit more with the dog and start to trust them more, we'll take him off of the prong collar. Hey, stop. We'll take him off of the prong collar. We'll get him off of or onto a slip lead, remote collar train him and start to allow him to kind of do his thing because I know I can always call him back. Hey. Sorry. So if you guys have any Q&A, happy to do that. This is just a little early stage socialization, so you guys don't, you're not seeing anything spectacular. You're just seeing the very beginning of the end when you guys are like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. How'd you get there? A lot of the how you got there stuff is pretty boring. There's nothing special about it. There's like these little moments here and there that you say, wow, I wish I got this on camera. But after that, it becomes just a routine of, this is how you live. Get used to this. This is what we do. This is how we engage with other dogs. This is how we play. This is how you eat. This is how you take direction from me. When you're unsure, this is what you do. You look to me for direction. When you are sure, make sure you're making the choices that I showed you are appropriate in this world. Just like our parents. You know, our parents would let us know how to cross the street, how to do this, how to do that. They would ask us what we wanted, but if it was something that wasn't a good choice, like if my parents were like, hey, Blake, what do you want for breakfast? And I told them ketchup and milk. They're not giving me ketchup and milk. They're like, oh, well, we're not going to get ketchup and milk today. You know, we're going to give you Cheerios. So things like that are very important. A lot of times, you know, we want our dogs to be in a position where they can make appropriate choices and do so on their own, but a lot of times we have to be the ones to show them what those appropriate choices are, because to them it could be anything that works, right? So I watch this here. I'm actually going to move my dog out of the way because they smelled a little bit. That was good. He was a little bit nervous, but I also want him to know when you're in this room, you're safe. You don't have to worry about them. I've got them. So worry about me, and that's your only job. Just be concerned, mindful of me. I got everything else. Just be a dog. Pay attention to me. I'm going to guide you through it. So that's basically what we're doing with that guy, and that's pretty much it. If there are no questions, awesome. We'll end the scope, and I'll do another one. I'm probably going to do another one in a little bit with, I may or may not do it with Sophie. That's a good question. The one that I carry, and I had never tried it, is just this pet convincer here. And it's a high-powered nozzle. The only thing you have to worry about is when you're in like groups, sometimes that sound can be a pretty strong aversive for a dog that's not even necessarily getting corrected. That might be on the other side of the room. So you kind of got to know the dogs. For the most part, when we're using any type of pet convincer, yeah, basically. So we got him to a point where before we were putting him in high excitement, which I would say this is not really so high excitement. It was in the beginning. We got him to a point where he was learning how to listen to the collar, the prong collar. He was learning how to walk for that. He was learning how to try to pull this way and then hit the end of the leash. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Pay attention to me. This is not about you. right? This is about me. I know what's best in this world, and I'm going to help to show you how to live and how to function in this world so that you can last in this world. Because dogs that make mistakes, they don't last in this world. They get put down. They get sent back to shelters. You know what I mean? So it's my job, it's our job to kind of provide that for them and show them how to live. No, but that pet convincer, the high pressure nozzle, that's what we use. Most of the time when I'm using that, it's actually if I'm pack walking and we have an idiot owner with their dog on a flexi lead, like pulling everywhere, or a dog off leash that's running to my pack, where out of 10 dogs, 6 of those dogs are with me for dog aggression, even though they look behaved. I gotta know that I can control that dog that's running up to my pack, and let them feel safe so they don't have to resort to bad habits, right? So a lot of times that's why I'll use the pet convincer. Is that it? You guys, this must be a super boring scope for you guys. We have 15 people in the room, nobody's hearting, nobody's commenting. We are going to end it. I'll be back later with some stuff.